Good afternoon, everyone. It is related in the name of Rabbi Yisrael Litkin of Salant that he said that it was worthwhile for a Jew to travel half the world in order to come, excuse me, in order to arrive at a small beis medrash and to say a few words of Torah between mincha and maariv, so that at least one person would daven maariv with greater zeal, even if the one person was the speaker himself. So that's why we've undergone this planning to have a short Dvar Torah every day, Sunday through Thursday, on the parsha of the week, which I usually deliver in Beit Knesset Anasi. But now, until the lockdown is over, we're going to do it on Zoom. In the story of the Gula from Mitzrayim, which unfolds in this week's parsha Vayera, there are three struggles that are involved. One is with Moshe versus Moshe. It says, "V'lo shomu el Moshe mikotzer ruach ma'avoda kosher." So the Rabbi Yitzchak Abarbanel says, "Mikotzer ruach is mikotzer rucho shel Moshe." Moshe himself didn't believe enough yet. His spirit was lagging. He flagged in belief. So Moshe has to believe. The second part of the triangle is that the Jewish people have to believe Moshe. We'll have that later. Vayaminu b'Hashem u'Moshe avdo. The Jewish people will come to a level of belief. The third leg of the triangle is that Pharaoh has to believe. That we have to bring Pharaoh to the level that he also realizes that he has no choice but to allow the Jewish people to leave Egypt. So in this week's parsha, all three of these challenges are discussed because all three have to be faced. All three have to be conquered, so to speak. All three are essential in order that somehow the redemption of the Jewish people from Egyptian bondage should take place, and that it should be successful. So the parsha begins, Vayera el Avraham el Yitzchak vel Yaakov. This has to do with Moshe. The Rabbanu Shalom says, I appeared to Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. I appeared to the Avos. Ushmi Hashem lo nodati lohem. And I did not reveal myself, let's phrase it this way, I didn't reveal myself to the extent that I revealed myself to you at the burning bush. Nowhere do we find that the Avos were told that they had to take off their shoes. Shal nalecha me'al raglecha. And nowhere do we find that there should be an expression, as there was by Moshe, ki yorei me'habit. Moshe was afraid to look even. The revelation was so powerful. It was so great and so immediate. So I didn't give them that level of revelation. Rashi comments that the Rebbeinu Shalom Kaviyochel here is telling Moshe, Chaval al di'avdin v'lo mishtachim. Woe to me that they're no longer here and I cannot find their substitutes. I cannot find people like them. Because the Avos were severe. What is Moshe complaining? There was Bosi al Pharaoh lo hitzalta zomazeh. From the time I came to Pharaoh, you didn't fulfill your obligation. You didn't save the Jewish people. And not only that, you made it worse. Before I came, they at least had straw to make bricks with. And now you took that away from them. And they're being whipped. And the Rebbeinu Shalom says to Moshe, you know, the others also had challenges. Avraham Avinu, when he had to buy the Mars HaMachpelah to bury Sarah there, he didn't say, you promised me that now I need 6 feet of ground and I can't get it. He didn't say that. He didn't say that you didn't save anybody. Yitzchak, when the Philistines stopped up all the wells. So again, Yitzchak didn't say, but you know, you promised me. Stay in this land, don't go, don't look for greener pastures somewhere else. Don't think it'll be better for you in Egypt or wherever you want to go. Yitzchak, you stay here, and I'll be with you. The next day, they stop up all of his wells. Yitzchak doesn't say anything. Doesn't reprimand heaven, so to speak. And Yaakov Avinu, the Rebbeinu Shalom told him, I'll be with you, v'chol haderech asher telech. And everything will be good. And now when Yaakov suffers in the house of Lavan, he suffers from his own family, he will say, Ma'at v'royim oyu yemei shnei chayai. I had a tough life. But we don't see that he complained to the Rebbeinu Shalom. We don't see that he said to God, but you promised us. You told us this and this and this and this. So that's why the Rebbeinu Shalom says to Moshe, Chaval al di'avdin v'lo mishtachim. I feel sorry, woe to me, on those who have departed, the avdin, they're not here anymore. V'lo mishtachim, I don't find people like them anymore. I find only complainers. Not good enough. You only come and say, V'atzei lo hitzalta. So Moshe, you have to get over that. If you don't get over it, then you can't lead the people. If you're not of the faith, if you don't have the ability to conquer your kotzer ruach, then how can you expect that the people will listen to it? Now that's lesson number one that the Torah emphasizes. in this week's parsha, the first leg, so to speak, of the triangle. Then the people have to believe Moshe. So originally they believed him. Vayamein. Moshe said the magic words, Kifoko Yivkod Elokim Eschem. They remembered that Yosef promised them that would happen. They will leave Egypt. Slavery would end. It didn't happen right away. So if Moshe would have been of the character to say it's going to happen anyway, don't judge it by instantaneous results. Let's have patience. We'll wait and see. There are Meforshim that say that the defect in Moshe's personality, Kaviochel, was impatience, and that's why he hit the rock too. He didn't have the patience. And for that he paid a heavy price. So here also there's impatience. I'd say, lo itzalta, you didn't save them. Well, if Moshe is impatient, then the Jewish people certainly are. If their leadership doesn't exhibit the will to see it through, so then how can you expect them to do so? When they are so sorely afflicted and they find themselves being whipped and they find their children being taken from them and murdered. So it will be a process till Moshe gets there. And when Moshe gets there, then he has to make the Jewish people achieve that level too. That it'll be by Yaminu B'Hashem Moshe Avdo. And that doesn't happen until Yam Suf. That's a long process. There has to be all sorts of plagues in the middle. And a percentage of the Jewish people, a substantial percentage, will fall away. But the end will be that they do believe. And then the third part of the triangle here is that Pharaoh has to believe. Pharaoh begins, Mi Hashem, I look him up in the book, I Google him, I don't find him. Why should I listen to you? And so Moshe, as the agent of Hashem, so to speak, forces him to listen to Hashem. And every time Pharaoh denies, well, this plague is over, so that's it. What else can he do to me? Until finally he's broken. And when he's broken, he still does it. And he will pursue the Jewish people into the sea, into his own self-destruction. Because at the end, he doesn't believe that it can happen. It's his arrogance, his hubris, that doesn't allow him to say that he has to bow down to the will of God, and that he has to free the Jewish people. So we have in this week's Parsha the entire outline of the redemption from Egypt, the three-legged stool, which will stand firmly, that Moshe believes, that the people will believe, and that eventually even Pharaoh will believe. And when that happens, so then the moment of the Geula occurs, and the Jewish people are formed as the nation Mamleches Kohanim V'Goy Kadosh. Thank you all for listening, and please stay well And we'll meet each other again tomorrow at 4:15. Thank you again, Kol Tuv Sela.